Hey everyone, Real Comic Stacks, and I am so far behind on comic books, and I'm going to talk a little bit of how I'm going to switch things up to try to get caught up at the end of the video, but first, let's check out Infinity Wars Sleepwalker number 2. Hit it! So if you haven't checked out Sleepwalker number 1, I'm going to put this tab here. You can go check it out and get caught up and find out what's going on. But let's dive right into this. And the book begins with going over the stones and how everything affected. An interesting piece of this is that inside each of the stones, similar to Soul World, is a world of its own. And this stone in particular we're talking about today is the Power Stone. And in it, you have basically an arena, a contest of champions, if you will. So, of course, when Sleepwalker needed to select someone to help him go through the Power Stone realm, he chose Little Monster, a.k.a. Scott Banner, the Infinity Warp's creation caused by Gamora combining the... Anyways, go back and look at the Infinity Wars videos if you're a little bit confused. It explains it all. Now, I've busted on Chad Bowers and Chris Sims before, the writing team, about using way too much dialogue. But I'm going to go over some of this stuff just because they do explain it really well and what is a very complicated scenario and a very complicated story. This is Sleepwalker speaking. Recently, the stones fell into the hands of one called Gamora, daughter of the mad titan Thanos. With them, she trapped Earth's population inside the Soul Stone, and in doing so, severed my connection to the waking world of the man and my longtime host, Rick Sheridan. To free him, I have chosen to navigate the stones one by one, traversing the infinity circuit to find my way into this soul world. But as I am a creature of the mind, I find some of the worlds before me to be alien. Thus I have enlisted dreamers with a connection to both Soul World and other stones to anchor me on this strange journey. Across this violent landscape, I am accompanied by Banner, and from there, he realizes he's misplaced Bruce Banner, who's off just going nuts, having a blast in this battle world. But he gets interrupted by this fine fella who asks him, "Are you lost, weakling?" And this is where it gets a little bit interesting, but not for the reason you would think. I mean, I don't know who Dynamis is. I don't know who the combination is in the warp world, or if he even counts in this, because it seems to have twisted it that it was only the people on Earth that were thrown into Soul World. I didn't think that was the case, but it's a little bit of a twist there. I don't know if that carries over in the other books or not. But the interesting part here to me is what Dynamis says and who he identifies himself as. And I say that because he identifies himself as the living embodiment of the power cosmic. And the power cosmic's always been, when you think power cosmic, you think Galactus. You think that's something he bestows upon people. But it seems like Marvel is saying that the power cosmic actually comes from the Power Stone, which it makes sense. I'm not going to really argue it, but that could come into play, I think, in some upcoming MCUs. I think they may be adjusting some continuity here on where the power cosmic originated from. But anyways, Dynamis shows no interest really in MCU continuity or Sleepwalker. Sleepwalker doesn't seem tough enough basically to fight him, but Little Monster, now that grabs his attention, and he asks Sleepwalker, "Hey, tell me about him." "Well, Mr. Dynamis, it's funny you should ask, because we needed to fit in the Little Monster origin story." Alright, and so the backstory is you have a combination of Janet Van Dyne and Jessica Jones, which is Janice Jones, who was going to get thrown in jail, but the jail is run by, I think it's a kingpin leader combination maybe, I don't know. But anyways, he's called the headman, and he actually shrinks people down and has like a little itty bitty prison, which is kind of funny, called the Ant Farm. And he takes those prisoners, does a bunch of testing on them, and tries to brainwash them into becoming undetectable assassins. Well, Scott Banner tried to save Janice Jones, and when that happens, some unstabilized PIM particles crossed with gamma radiation somehow created Little Monster. I think I got that right. Well, Dynamis isn't impressed, and Sleepwalker's had enough of this dude's ego. So he says, "Look, I'm going. Me and Little Man, we got to roll." And Dynamis tells him, "Look, your journey goes straight through me. This is the arena. Everyone fights." And right at that time, all the warriors kind of look down and say, "The little guy just vanished." And Sleepwalker just has this look like, "Oh no!" And he vanished because Scott Banner woke up. But real quick, we got to play Name Those Infinity Warps. And we have Melissa Morley, which is Poltergeist, which I'm saying is a cross between Ghost and Silk. Janice Jones, the Beetle, which that is what we just talked about, Jessica Jones and Janet Van Dyne. And then we have Bullseye, like Raphael, the Ninja Turtles weapon. And that's a cross between Bullseye and Elektra. Boom! Named all three of them. And so what you get here is a rundown. These are the Thunderbolts, and they've come asking for help because the headman, he did some testing on himself, and he was terminally ill. And in order to get help from other scientists, he basically took a bunch of kids and infected them with the same thing. And to defeat it, they're going to get Scott Banner madder than he's ever been mad before. He's going to shrink down. He's going there, and he's actually going to fight the infection. And then he tells them the number of kids, 164 of them. Yeah, that ought to do it. I'm mad enough. In the meantime, back in the Power Stone, Sleepwalker is getting his keister kicked by whatever, this Dynamis, and getting the elbow dropped on him from the top rope and everything. So after traveling through the headman's body, the little Hulk runs into Abomination inside the body. He's like the heart of the infection or whatever. And they have your typical Hulk Abomination fight going on up until the point where Little Monster goes even smaller. And so the beatdown on Sleepwalker continues until Dynamis says something that triggers something in Sleepwalker's mind. And that's about, he's a force of will. And suddenly Sleepwalker remembers the circuit, the Infinity Circuit, and how power is fed by the Mind Stone, or by the control of the mind. After that, after Sleepwalker realizes that, he starts throwing down on Dynamis. Dynamis is just getting slapped around after that. But then we go back inside the leader guy, and Little Monster just shrunk down small enough to go inside of the Abomination and grew up, and it's disgusting. Back on the outside, Sleepwalker's winning. So with that, the cancer is killed and the kids are saved, and Scott Banner can go back to sleep and go back in and help in the battle arena. But it's too late because Sleepwalker's already walking away like a boss, just victorious. And he's already on his way looking for his the next person to help him get through the Space Stone. And that's Chris Powell, a.k.a. Darkhawk. From here, we're taken to a SHIELD helicarrier where you get a description about Project Cassandra. And that's about some Halloween types who check in on bad dreams. And same dream's a coincidence, they say. But 16, that's kind of off the charts. So who is this? Holding up a picture of Sleepwalker and showing it to Rick Fury, Agent of Sleep. So, guys, that's where we end this. And we'll be heading on to Sleepwalker number 3 of Infinity Wars. Guys, I hope you're enjoying it. I will try to get this one knocked out real quick since I am so far behind. And what I'm going to do is I'm probably just going to start doing some live ones rather than doing the pre-recorded ones like I do where I kind of edit them. It takes a lot of time. But if I do it the quick way, hopefully I can get caught up. So the quality might be down a little bit. You might not get some of my great humor that you typically do. But, guys, I'm trying to get caught up. Obviously, timeliness helps these videos. Also, helping these videos is if you subscribe, leave a like, and you put a comment down below. What did you enjoy about this Sleepwalker and you're actually enjoying the Sleepwalker series from Infinity Wars. I know it's a good character that's definitely been underused. So, guys, I appreciate it. That's all I got. Real Comic Stacks out.